Hello, everyone. Are you ready to talk about fasting? Let's do it. Let's discuss seasonal cleansing, specifically focusing on Prolon, which is a 5-day fasting mimicking diet. My name is Tripti Gokani. I am a retired board-certified neurologist, integrative mindset coach, and Ayurvedic wellness counselor. I've been recommending cleansing with each season change for the last 2 decades and seen some really powerful results. Today's focus is on Prolon. Let's get started. First, I'll start with a disclaimer. The video is educational purposes only. This is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, be it changing your diet, starting a cleanse such as Prolon, adding a supplement, tea, or even practicing yoga, breath work, exercises, for example. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have learned in this presentation. If you're actually seeking medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, please do consult your medical provider. This is truly educational only. The goal is, my friends, to empower all of you with new information and educate you on how to have optimal health. So let's start the conversation on fasting. Why? Oh, why should we fast? Well, when you think about fasting, fasting is an ancient practice observed by people from all over the world and all different religions. Let's give you some examples. Ramadan, Yom Kippur, Clean Monday to Holy Saturday, Navratri, which is something that I practice. It's a 9-day cleansing when you connect with a goddess. Ekadashi, which is also practiced. It's a fasting around this full moon. Lent. There are so many religious practices that encourage fasting, and you have to ask yourself why. Why do we fast? And fasting, if it's recommended by so many, why are we all not doing it more if you haven't been doing fasting? So let's take it up a notch. What can fasting do for your health? And then I'll go into more detail about why fasting is important from a mind and spiritual connection. So, simply from a health perspective, if done the right way, I'll emphasize if done the right way, fasting, studies have shown this. You can have improvement in weight, reduction in inflammation, reduce blood pressure, blood sugars, and brain function can improve. And you can have a sharper mind and go into more like an anti-aging state if you do occasional fasts. And data truly is showing this. It improves something called the metabolic health, and that is the core for pretty much most diseases. And Ayurveda, which is what I practice, is an Eastern system of healing, 5,000 years in origin. Ayur means health, Veda is wisdom. It's a wisdom of life, wisdom of longevity. The suggestion is to fast with every season change. Kind of as we're moving from summer to winter in that fall transition. And then as we move from winter to summer in that spring transition, so spring and fall, you'll notice a lot of holidays fall around then, of these fasting holidays. And there's a reason, because during that transition time, our body is adjusting. That environment is shifting from summer being hot and warm and humid to a cooler, drier winter. The body has to internally shift. So the body kind of naturally goes for detoxification during season change. We can honor it by doing a 5-day cleanse. And I think it's really helpful to do some cleansing during season change to prevent having allergies and congestion and getting viruses and getting sick. So it's really interesting. The more your body is kind of inherently detoxified, and if you activate some more detoxification and cleanse out your system, you're less likely to get sick and congested. It's just something that we see. So we encourage it. And then what happens is really cool. The more you do this, you go kind of into this anti-aging, health promoting stage where your body, your longevity genes actually turn on because of doing these cleanses. So I highly recommend them if you want to kind of think about anti-aging and think about longevity and living in a way where you don't have, maybe you can prevent diseases or mitigate, reduce the intensity of a disease by taking on this. And as I said in the disclaimer, you never want to fast without supervision because each individual should be fasting in the appropriate way for themselves. So what are the goals of fasting? Well, fasting is a time of reset. And what do you reset? You reset your body, your mind, you connect, you slow down, connect with self. And if you believe in source and divine, connect with divine. It's a beautiful time of just taking life down a few notches, slowing down, bringing less food in, resting your digestion, giving your liver and your lymphatics and your whole body, your blood, a time to cleanse out toxins that have built up from the environment, from pesticides, from foods, from hair care products. We get so many toxins that come in. Our mind becomes toxic with our thoughts. So as you go through cleansing, you start to sharpen the mind, become less toxic in your thinking. Your body becomes less toxic. This is actually in Eastern medicine, the cause of disease is buildup of what we call ama, which is toxin. That actually leads to disease. So the more you detoxify, the less ama of mind and body, and the more you can connect with yourself in a calm, balanced way and with divine. If you're curious about Ayurveda, we won't be talking about it really during this video. Please go to my website, triptigokaniMD.com, and take the stress quiz. It'll give you a sense of if you're the windy, vata kind of imbalanced, fiery, pitta excess imbalanced, or the earthy, kapha imbalanced state. And then I go through kind of some discussion about what those three states look like. And it's important for you to know that because it'll help you as you're trying to create harmony. If you can educate yourself a little bit on your state and your imbalance, and it could help you with some outcomes when it comes to the fasting results. Why Prolon? Why have I chose Prolon? Well, I'm always trying to blend Eastern medicine with Western and making sure we're keeping up to modern day living. I love data. My background is I was trained as a board certified neurologist, and I love data. I love to see science. And this actual fasting mimicking diet. Yes, you do eat. You just eat very specifically what this program gives you. It's based on 20 years of clinical research by Dr. Longo at the Longevity Institute at the University of Southern California. This specific program has been subject to almost 32 clinical trials. It has received millions of dollars in funding, and it's one of the most, I think, effective ways to improve your metabolic state and to improve yourself. And very few cleanses have been studied this way and with this much rigor medically, which makes me very excited because I believed in cleansing. I've recommended cleansing for my patients and clients for the last 20 years. Yet to see data behind cleansing and scientific support to outcomes to me is pretty impressive. So here are the key outcomes. Number one, waist circumference improvement. A lot of people like to see their waist come down. Well, 1.6 inches reduction in waist circumference. BMI reduction by 3.4%. Well, this is BMI that is fat cells. What has been maintained is lean body mass, meaning your muscle is not being lost. It is really reduction of the visceral fat. Body weight reduction, 5 pounds, mainly abdominal. That's what most people tell me is that kind of the pinch around the pinch the inch around the waist, right? Can you pinch an inch? Remember those? I don't know if you remember those Kellogg's commercials from years ago, I should say. Well, that obesity around the waistline, the circumference of the waist becoming bigger is something that a lot of people are challenged with. And that is really due to weight around the visceral organs, the organs that are in your belly. It is the fat that is around those organs. And that is something that this program actually can attack. And the reason that's important is that is what we call the inflammatory fat. That's the fat that actually increases your risk for disease. And if you can get toxins out of those fat cells and reduce and clear those cells, it's pretty amazing. You can start to get some weight loss that actually stays with you after you've completed the cleanses. Now, keep in mind, the studies they did here were based on 3 cycles of Prolon. Yet I will say I've seen pretty cool results even after 1 cycle. So if you can't do 3, even consider 1 would be really highly beneficial for you. And look at this, what I wrote here. 3 cycles of Prolon will decrease your biological age by 2.5 years. Who wants to look and feel younger? Yeah. And remember, the studies above were based on 3 cycles, yet I have done this a lot. We have just done 1, even myself and my friends and clients have just done 1 cycle and noticed a nice result. It has kind of jump-started them, maybe even into healthy eating, healthy activities, and they've been able to maintain that reduction in weight for years. It's pretty nice to see. So really fascinating to see where some data is going. This is a holistic cardiologist, Dr. Thake, wrote an article, why I recommend this specific Prolon fasting mimicking diet. Ready for this? 120 days of the Mediterranean diet, often regarded as a gold standard for heart health, with compared with 20 days of the fasting mimicking diet. That's 4 5-day cycles over the course of 4 months. This trial that this doctor did showed that the fasting mimicking diet equaled the Mediterranean diet in multiple cardiovascular areas and even outperformed some areas. Pretty amazing. There was a reduced plus score. That's the protein unstable lesion score. And this like unstable protein in the vessel, it is linked to heart attacks, and it actually measures your 5-year risk. The score measures your 5-year risk of major cardiovascular events, heart attacks and strokes. And this score was reduced by doing this diet. There was like a younger looking epithelium. Blood vessels responded more effectively. They were more able to kind of constrict and dilate. There was an improvement in glucose regulation. Hemoglobin A1C, that's a measure of your blood glucose and sugars, was improved. Improvement in insulin sensitivity, which is one of the biggest concerns I see with weight gain, people working out saying, I can't lose weight. It's often due to a challenge with insulin receptors. And there was improvements in cholesterol and C-reactive protein, which is a sign of inflammation in the body, improved blood pressure. So all these findings were found in this study. And you can see the article on the Al-Nutra website, health website. And what I love about it is that, again, data is proving this to be very effective. Ancient wisdom has said we should fast at season change. And I've been saying this for decades. Honestly, for people that know me, they know that I love to recommend fasting. And it gets easier and easier each time you do it. Yet to see scientific data prove the importance and see some beautiful outcomes with this specific fast is really nice. What happens during a cleanse? Well, cellular rejuvenation occurs. Autophagy means dying off of what we call the senescent cells, the cells that are unhealthy, that aren't serving you anymore. And kind of nourishment goes towards those cells that are truly serving you. You have an enhancement of stem cells. Those are stem cells that can kind of help you with inflammation, with pain, with rejuvenation, with your mind. They kind of go in and repair and kind of strengthen your mind and body. There's fat-focused weight loss. As I mentioned earlier, it's a visceral fat. Your body actually thinks you're fasting, yet you're staying nourished, which is really interesting. You're going to change how you view food. And once you finish this, you just won't look at food the same way. You won't eat the same portions. You'll kind of think twice about how much you're taking in. And honestly, after these cycles, what I've heard people say is they just don't feel as hungry because your system shifts. Improvement in well-being. I find that by the 4th and 5th day, I'm actually on day 4 today. I have my soup right here. I'll tell you more about the products that are in the program. I actually get more clarity on my 4th and 5th day. I feel better. I feel more energetic, and it's really nice. My skin, I used to get acne all the time when I was in my 20s and 30s. Ever since I started recommending cleansing in general, my skin got better. And I think it's a really nice side effect. You go into this, like, as I mentioned, anti-aging mode. You improve your leptin, which is your hunger signal, and IGF-1 is reduced, which is kind of a sign of inflammation. And these kinds of markers, when they're improved, your body goes more into this anti-aging pathway, which restores your hormones, restores your adrenals. Your system is more robust. Your brain is feeling sharper and more enlivened, and your body is better. You feel better in your body because your body isn't carrying so much extra toxin and weight. Really convenient. What happens is this cleanse is easy to do. Everything is really easy to grab because it's in individual boxes. And so what's going to happen is you're going to get a big kit, and every single item you need is in the box. All you need to get is water to make the items. So when you order the kit, the 5-day kit includes soups. I'll show you, there's a soup packet, olives. I'm going to show you, here's the olive packet, and these are real olives. I'll eat one right now because I'm cleansing today. Delicious, beautiful olives, kale crackers, nut bars. These are where you start your day. They have a really good amount of fat and protein. You eat one of these, you're going to be full for hours. And then in the end of the evening, certain evenings, you get a choco bar, which is really tasty. You're going to be sipping on tea all day. And then certain days you're drinking this drink called the L drink, which explains how to use this drink. But this is going to preserve your muscle while you're going into ketosis. All you need is water. I'd recommend when you do your soups, to put them in a mug. I like to like sip on the soup, or you can use a spoon and drink the soup. I put some chili pepper flakes in here because I like to add a little spice. You can add some herbs, you can use garlic powder. You can use other things in here to flavor it based on your liking. Just nothing that has calories in it, but spices are fine. And you could even chop up a celery stick and chop it up and put it in there to give you a little crunch. And I add some herbs, sometimes some basil, different herbs like parsley. Totally fine to do that to make the soups, kind of a little bit more interesting for you. So day one, what happens is your body transforms into a fasting state. You're getting plenty of calories. You're just kind of moving into fasting state. Day two, you go into fat burning and ketogenesis. That's where ketone production begins. Day three is what we call the autophagy. That's probably the toughest day. That's the day you want to take it a little easy. In general, all 5 days, you don't want to overtax yourself because your body's in cleansing mode. For women, you don't want to do this during your cycles. What you want to do is find 5 days. I like Sunday through Thursday that you can do a 5-day cleanse and take it easy. No heavy, no working out. I wouldn't work out at all. And just kind of take it easy. The third day for sure is cellular cleanup. Your autophagy, you're getting rid of the cells that aren't serving you, that haven't been serving you. And there's even data to show that when you fast, you can clear up precancerous cells. So really nice to do that internal housekeeping. Day four is cellular rejuvenation. That's where fat burning and ketosis continue. And then day five, you're at this sustained ketosis because you've been in this ketotic state, yet you're still cellular recycling and renewal. So you're kind of building new cells, you're recycling, clearing out toxins. It's a really beautiful, well-developed program. So my recommendation, I said earlier, avoid heavy exercise, heavy exertion, no boot camp classes and hot yoga. Keep it gentle. You could do some restorative stretches, some gentle walks. That's it, my friends. Keep the adrenals really balanced. Women who are cycling, you may want to hold till your period is complete and then start the fast. Really respect your day time routine, meaning when your eyes open up, take your time. If you're feeling a little tired, you can sleep in a little bit, but kind of get up and get going and try to plan where you're having the items at the right times during the day, just so you can stay nourished, stay very hydrated with the teas and the L drink, and then sleep. I recommend you get to bed around 10 o'clock if you can, because it'll help you. The liver cleanses between 10 and 2. It'll really help you with that fasting. Avoid any intense stress or overworking. I know easier said than done, but if possible, lighten up a little bit. Take some time. When you do this, just try to take a deep breath, go internal, not be working so much if you're working, not be busy so much with activities. Just take it easy. I'm not saying don't do things. I encourage actually planning walks with friends, planning some nice activities with other people, doing things that are very gentle and relaxed with your family. Just don't overtax your mind, is my recommendation. Connect with family, friends, do some gentle walks, read some books. It's a great time to read some books while you're cleansing. Breathwork and gentle yoga. I'm a certified yoga instructor, so I'm a big fan of breathing and yoga because I think it just helps the body kind of reset itself during cleansing. And remember, no other food should be consumed during these 5 days. Everything is given to you in these little boxes. And you open up the box and you'll see there's also a couple more things I didn't mention. There's going to be some nutrients, a nutrient kind of capsule, and an omega, like an algae oil capsule. Those are also into the program. So you make sure you're nourished during this program. You're not starving yourself, because you go into starvation mode. That can change your metabolic set point, and you can actually come out and shift the way your body regulates food. And you can actually start to, unfortunately, if you starve yourself too much, you could change your metabolic set point. And then if you eat a little food, you might gain some weight. So we don't want to just like not eat for 5 days. It's important to eat, but eat in a way that your body is tricked into think it's getting food, but it's really not. It's getting nutrients, it's getting prebiotic fibers, it's getting a lot of good fats, yet it's going into ketosis. So the body is technically going to go into that state where it kills off the bad cells, but the good cells are being nourished really well. Try to avoid caffeine. Try. Do your best. If you really must have that cup of coffee, limit it to 140 milligrams of caffeine per day. Maybe this is your time to start to taper coffee. Maybe during a cleanse, you say, you know what? I want to start to taper off of coffee. Go down to half a cup for a few days, quarter cup. See if you can come off of it. It'd be a great time to cleanse off of coffee, and not depend on it as a first thing. I need to have it in the morning. But be careful if you get headaches, or you're really fatigued. It might be tricky. You might get some rebound headaches with getting off of caffeine. And what's really cool is you're not going to do any dishes, right? I mean, maybe you'll wash a mug. That's about it. No groceries, no cooking. You could just like focus on what's in those kits and just focus on yourself and how well you're going to feel when you complete this. So potential side effects, well, the diet, no, the diet has nutrients, not lacks. It has nutrients to get you through. But what happens is sometimes, sometimes headaches can occur. Even though you're having nourishment and you're having the nutrients you need, sometimes headaches can occur because your body may be carrying a lot of toxin, or you might be cutting down caffeine, or you might be dehydrated. So just be careful of maybe getting some kind of headaches. The program contains macronutrients, vitamins, minerals to really help you fast without getting the headaches, but sometimes people do get them, especially if you're prone to them. And if they occur, check and see, do you have any issues with your gut? Are you constipated? Very often I find that if headaches are occurring, it's because the digestive system is impaired. So please make sure you're taking care of your digestion. You might want to sip on some herbal tea, talk to your provider about taking some herbals or some things that will help you eliminate. There's some really nice probiotics you can take to help with elimination. So you might want to consider some of those things because usually it's a secondary reason why headaches occur. Fatigue can happen, especially day 3. Lightheadedness or faint, especially since the calories are low. If you're feeling really tired and lightheaded, consider having something to eat because your blood sugars might be dropping, maybe a little bit of sugar or a little bit of juice or protein, just a little bit of like nuts may help you if you're really feeling uncomfortable. Remember to always contact your physician if you're having any symptoms and side effects during a cleanse, and this is your first time doing it, just to make sure you are okay, and always get cleared by your physician that's safe for you to do a 5-day fasting mimicking diet. So how to order it? After you've gotten your physician approval and you've gotten clearance, this is where I have my link at triptychocaniMD.com/products/detox-kits. And you can click on the single box of Prolon. And there was a breast cancer promotion going on this month, which is nice. The cost is $148 with the discount code that I have on my link. You want to choose the Generation 3 soups. Those are the better tasting soups. So I recommend those soups. And that's really it. It's a beautiful, beautiful program. I highly recommend you consider doing this program. I hope it serves you well and gives you an opportunity to reset, to improve your metabolic health, to give you a lot of healthy, happy years to come, and to reduce disease in every way possible. All right, my friends, you take care. It was lovely meeting all of you. Until next time, bye-bye.